So we're at the fun show. This is the summer fun show. So tonight you have a premier auction. What's the difference between a premier auction and a U.S. signature auction?
Okay, so our signature auction is the group of all the coins that we're bringing to a specific large show, and so basically what we look for is the neatest parts of that sale to call as our premier session. So we take all of the neatest parts of the auction that we're bringing to a specific show, and we set those aside so that all the buyers can see the really neat material we have in a single session. So all the highest profile coins will be in this evening's premiere session, and so that's how we determine it. Our graders at the office do a good job of selecting those coins which the market is going to respond most favorably to, and we bring those to this particular session and set them aside as special that way.
So we've gone through the catalog and we've pulled out 4 really interesting pieces that are going to go for sale tonight. So why don't you tell me why you like these coins?
Okay, well, there were several things I was looking for as you asked me to choose some coins to discuss with you. And what I wanted things that don't come up very often. I wanted some things that a buyer in typical auctions isn't going to see all the time. And so I was selective as I chose to see what kind of things we could talk about that really are unique, things that you just don't see every time. And kind of the quintessential piece as far as that goes is this S Mint Walking Liberty $50 that's been double struck. The first strike was properly centered on the coin. The second strike is about 80%, 75% off center at 6 o'clock off the coin. So most of the second strike is not there. It obliterates the date. But when you look at the reverse of the coin, that strong S Mint mark, so we know it's a 40s date.
Right.
It's late in the issue because of the size of the mint mark.
So essentially the coin, after it was struck, it wasn't ejected fully before the second strike happened.
So when the feeder arm fed it in, it was struck one time. And then when the feeder arm tried to push it out so that it wouldn't stay in there, it pushed it part way out, but not entirely out. So when the die struck it the next time, then it was partially still in the collar and received a second blow, 75% off center. It's just a fabulous piece. This particular coin came to us from a collector in the Midwest who'd had it for a long time, and it's one of those that, out of the woodwork kind of stories. I received a phone call from the consignor and he said, "Hey, I've got this. I don't really know what to do with it. What is it? And is it good?" And so we had a conversation about the coin and about several really nice pieces that we'd sold that were double struck walkers previously.
So this is a fresh coin, and I mean, was it certified when you got it?
It was not. This came to me uncertified. Heritage got it certified on behalf of the consignor. So it was a coin that had just been in a drawer and had come to, and he'd set it aside as odd at some point, and it came to me fresh to the market. It's never been on the market previous to this offering.
And the coin has 2 things going for it. Obviously, Walking Liberty $50 is very popular.
Absolutely.
And this is a spectacular era.
Yeah, no, the spectacular era. We've only twice before sold double struck walkers, and both of them brought really strong prices, and we expect this coin to do equally as well. It's a neat piece.
Very good.
Let me show you another one of my favorites from this group. This is kind of an everyman's High Relief 20. So the High Relief 20, everyone knows the story about how difficult they were to strike, and banks being unhappy with them because the depth of the relief was too high. You couldn't stack the coins easily, and so they switched in the middle of 1907 to the low relief. But because of that, and because of how spectacularly beautiful these are, they just always come nice. The lowest grade you typically see is an AU coin, a little bit of wear on the high points and maybe a cleaning sometimes. But the majority of the mintage is still mint state. This coin is different because it's well circulated. This coin is PCGS VG10, and it's just got a ton of lovely wear. This coin was probably not used in commerce, but certainly was a pocket piece for quite some time.
Right.
And so it's got great wear. It just shows what these coins would have looked like and how good they would have looked even after substantial use in commerce if they had survived.
Right.
It's too bad that they did not, because the coin is amazing, and I just love this coin. I mean, isn't that great?
And how often do you see, like, a high relief in any sort of circulated grade that hasn't been harshly cleaned or
almost never.
Yeah,
almost never. I mean, only a handful of grading examples at both services in this lower grade, and so while not especially rare, the coin is available, it's scarce, this well worn, and this nice on top of that. Just good, honest wear down to the VG level as a coin. You just don't see it like that very often.
Yeah, you definitely won't find one of these on the bourse floor.
No, you're not going to. If you want that one, the auction's your only option right now.
So also, it looks like we pulled out a modern coin.
We did.
Modern coins are an important part of the
Absolutely.
auction business.
Absolutely. So when Heritage is looking for modern coins, typically what we're looking for is we're looking for scarcity of grade. And so when we look to moderns, we say, okay, as we look for more and more aggressive grading, because we want to see coins that are at the very top of the levels. They're the kind of coins that that guys who are doing registry sets are looking for. And so by having coins like this in our sale, we're able to cater to all the needs of the auction buyers group. And so this is a great example. It's a 71D Ike dollar in PCGS 67, and I know you were telling me that that's one of your specialty areas, that you really like this. You know, they just don't come up in this grade very often. And you were explaining to me about the mint set issues, that because there weren't mint sets of 1971, that the availability of really high grades is much more limited. This is a Denver issue, obviously, and you were telling me that they were more available at Denver as well.
Yeah, so actually the Denver Mint struck the Ike dollar first in 1971. They started striking about a couple weeks before Philadelphia went into production. But they were using softer die steel. Until midway through 1972. So you see in the 71s, you see a lot of die sink. This coin has no die sink at all.
It's amazing.
The In God We Trust is completely clear and legible, not like mutilated. But also what you see is, like with these coins, that you see a lot of bag marks, a lot of not fully struck coins. You don't see a lot of luster. Ike dollars typically are ugly coins.
Right.
So one of the reasons they've become popular with registry set collectors is find an Eisenhower dollar that's not hideously ugly is actually a challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a challenge to find an Eisenhower dollar, but
no,
to
of course
find one
not.
that's attractive. But this is a really nice coin. In the color, I think this is probably an original roll. It sat in there for quite some time. The sulfur in the paper has toned it. So it's a really lovely piece. So I'm sure that's going to bring a strong interest.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you talked about the toning, and a lot of people prefer the way that silver tones. Just it's so reactive and it can get such bright colors. But this coin for copper nickel has toned beautifully. It's a nice rose and a little bit of a green as we shimmer it under the lights on the obverse, and then a real beautiful bluish color on the reverse that kind of engulfs the whole reverse. It's one of those coins that they shouldn't come this nice, and yet this one is, and so because of that, it'll stand out in tonight's session.
Well, obviously these coins are going to go under the hammer tonight. By the time CoinWeek readers get to see this video, there's going to be sold. But Heritage does a great job of keeping their website up to date with future auctions. It's free to register an account, and you can plan ahead.
Yep,
to spend those coin dollars.
Yeah, we'd love to have more people sign up. If you're watching CoinWeek and you're not a registered member of Heritage Auctions, we'd love to have you go to the website and go ahead and sign up there. You can access these particular coins, the rest of the sale that we've sold, all of the auction archives that we have over the previous 20 or 30 years of business are all available on our website. So as someone who's found you and isn't familiar with us, by all means, they should come check us out and see what we have to offer and how we might help them as they build their collections in the future.